we sort of round out our Megatron week today with this. It is the, I'm going to say MX Transformed Warrior Dauntless Fighter. It's a KO of the Studio Series Concept Art Megatron. But is it any good? Well, we're going to find out together in the latest GotBot True review. Hey, one hail, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit the notification bell, please, helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And like I said, this is a KO of the Concept Art Megatron. I've never looked at the Concept Art Megatron, but I've heard fabulous things. This, much like the last Megatron we looked at, which was an oversized KO of the Studio Series 1 Megatron, this is also on loan to me by friend of the channel, Daryl. It's his. And the more I looked at this and the more I explored this, the more I felt like it's not just an homage to Megatron, but it's a great homage to Super Megatron. We'll talk about that when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And yes, indeed, here we have the Dauntless Fighter, MX Transformed Warrior Dauntless Fighter. It's the KO of the Studio Series Concept Art Megatron, but in this case, apparently it is a high-end boutique model. Who knew? On the side over here, it says Transformed Warrior. On the side over here, just the artwork for Concept Art Megatron. And on the back, we see all three modes. And of course, your warnings and stuff down bottom. I mean, it's a box. Inside said box, we have a large sheet of instructions. This is only folded, like open from half, but it's actually able to fold down. There's like 4 panels this size, and it's double-sided. So there's a lot of moving parts with this dude. Considering I've never looked at the Concept Art Megatron, this is going to be interesting. And I've heard all the hype about just how good the Studio Series Concept Art Megatron is. And I never had an opportunity to look at it. I didn't need it for my collection, but I did think it was wildly impressive. Just out of interest's sake, here it is next to the 86 Optimus, just so you can see how big it is. He's a leader class, and he's a tall leader class. His mass, certainly not a full-on leader class mass. It is not, 300 and some odd grams. I do not believe. I can't really confirm it though here because this of course is the KO and it has some die cast, like I know the chest is die cast, the official isn't, but I gotta believe that the official is probably an example of like something sold at leader price, probably more than Voyager but not quite leader, and an example of like there should be something in between there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is a full-on leader mass. I could be wrong. I'm going to take this out of it. Now, as I look at this guy, I keep thinking to myself, hey, it's definitely a version of Megatron, but it's not your traditional Megatron that comes to mind. In fact, about 5 years ago, I took a look at this, the Selects. I'm just going to move this guy down ever so slightly. The Selects Super Megatron. Or Ultra Megatron, or Omega Megatron if you know the Japanese manga, if you know the G1 continuity. Nevertheless, this was a version of Super Megatron. And I feel like if you look at the aesthetic between both of these, even if I fold these back, if you look at the aesthetic between both of these, I'm like, man, it's real similar. Like the rounded shoulders, the thinner biceps with the bigger forearms, the oversized fusion cannon, the smaller thighs but the bigger lower legs. Like if you don't have the Select Super Megatron, I feel like the Concept Art Megatron is one heck of a stand-in for it. And super duper impressive. In terms of looks for the guy, I'm gonna say 10. This looks like Megatron. It's what the live action Megatron always should have been. So I'm gonna give him a 10. Let's do the articulation for the guy. We have a head that goes left, right, bit up, bit down. The arms can go all the way around, out to the side. Even with some of the joints here, you kind of get a bit of a butterfly as well. You get an elbow over 90 degrees. You get a bicep swivel, but then there's also another lower swivel. Is it lower? Yeah, I think it's a lower swivel as well. Wrist rotation, opening and closing fingers. We certainly have base pin knuckle, secondary knuckle, and I think this one has a tertiary knuckle if I'm not mistaken. I'll note this now. When it comes to folding this up for transformation, it needs to be super specific, I find. You gotta fold the hand in and then fold the other fingers kind of down over the palm of the hand. Don't fold the fingers into the palm. They won't be able to fit in the forearm. Fold the fingers kind of down over the palm. Instead of folding them like into the palm, fold them like down over the palm. As weird as that probably is to say. Full T-pose out to the side. Obviously the fusion cannon can move all around. We have a waist that's free flowing. You'll notice too I have these two hip skirts kind of pulled forward already. It's because when they're opened out, I do find that it hinders his forward kick. So I tend to leave him kind of opened out even though you're not really supposed to. Back all the way and taking this hip skirt up off the side, out all the way to the side. We have a thigh swivel. We have a super deep knee. We have an ankle tilt, forward and back as well. Like everything you could possibly want a Megatron to do, everything you could possibly want a leader class offering to do, this guy does. Articulation 10. So look 10, articulation 10. He is fabulous so far. Okay, I guess we'll get to the transformation. We'll go to tank and I guess we'll go to plane. So we're going to take this off. Man, is this impressive though. Like really, really impressive. I hope I remember everything. If I stumble over something, man, I apologize. For now, I'm going to take these to the back and leave them there for now. I'm going to leave these out because I pretty much always leave those out. Let's go to the legs, I guess. And we're going to begin by opening out the wing, I guess. And we're going to pick this up. Is that right? I hope I'm doing this right. We're going to pick this up and we're going to fold this in. And we're going to bring it down and do that with it. And then I think we fold this down and fold this in like this. And I'm pretty sure that's one leg done. If I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not mistaken. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see as we go, won't we? And maybe folds out this way? We'll have to see as we go here. We're going to pick up, we're going to open this out. We're going to pick up the front of the leg. We're going to open that all the way out. We're going to close this in and we're going to bring it all up. There is a little peg inside that goes up into a slot in the foot and we're going to bring that down here as well. Thusly like this. We're going to leave that for just a moment because I need to actually consult the instructions, believe it or not. Okay, so next we open the arm, and with the hands, remember what I said about the fingers, that you don't fold them into the hand, you fold them like down in, like into the palm. When you do that, it'll fit in and you can close it back up. Same on the other side, we open out the hand, we fold it all the way in and fold it up. Okay, next we should be able to bring the hips out. Now I find the easiest way, rather than trying to pull it, is to take it up from the side and then open it out all the way down like this. Same thing here, take it from the side and then open it out all the way down like that. Then we can bring these hip skirts up here to the side as well. And I think we even bring those down, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, all right, I think we're good so far. Now that we've got that done, let's kind of work here on the upper body. Basically, all of this comes apart. Turn the Megatron head around, I think. Maybe we don't. Maybe it just goes up and in. Yeah, there we go. There we go, yeah. And we bring all of this up. Cool. We come here and we open these two sections out. And we should be able to flip these up and over. When we do so, we should have a little rectangular vertical peg there that should go into a little slot here on the wing, I believe, is technically what's happening with it. Yeah, there on the wing like that. We do the same here on the other side. We fold this forward and we should be able to bring it in and it go in the wing thusly like that. Cool. We extend the back tread. We extend the back tread. We got both of those in. Awesome. All right, now we got to deal with the kind of the like main body and upper body here. Now, to do the main body, we basically have a little tab back here and we bring the whole thing back until it tabs on there. And then these should begin to come in. These go together weird. I don't particularly like the way that the arms here go together. They come down and you sort of angle them out because you have a tab here on this shoulder that goes into a notch on the other shoulder. And they sort of fit thusly like this. You'll notice you have a peg hole here and a peg hole here. You need to turn them at the like lower bicep because you need to be able to use the elbow. So sort of the silver that's out right here, you got to make sure that stays up on the top of the arm. It's a bit of a chore, I find, on the KO anyway, to turn them. Once you have these done, now you should be able to deal with your fusion cannon if you didn't do so already. For the fusion cannon, we take the armature that was like this on his arm and we extend it all the way out and we bring it up. Now you'll notice we have a peg on either side, so we should be able to come here and peg it in there, and then on the other side peg it in there. Make sure we have the shoulders put together. This is definitely the hardest part of doing this, is lining all of this up. I'll have to do it again in a second because I definitely don't have it lined up properly here right now. And honestly, I do find it difficult to see from a distance. And then we should be able to turn this so that it's angle facing upward. And boom, in essence, this should be the tank. I'm just going to make sure that I got everything solidified, and then we'll talk about this before we go to the other alt mode, which is plane. And this is the tank. Yes, the turret does go all the way around, even if it's back a little bit. I did not turn the head around, but I think I was supposed to because you can see his face here now, but it's supposed to be the back of his head. But basically, this is it. A little bit of it I might have, I don't want to say fumbled and stumbled over, because that's not true, but like trying to put the two of these together on the back while simultaneously bending the elbows in after turning at the lower forearm and then rotating this, like just aligning everything like takes a little bit of attention to detail until you've done it a couple times. Again, no tires, he slides, I guess okay, but Super Megatron has like a Cybertronian tank mode. This Megatron has a Cybertronian tank mode. I think it's pretty darn good. I'm impressed with it. Okay, so now that we've got the tank mode done, let's go to plane mode so that we can get out of here. We're going to split these and we're going to pick that off, and I'm just going to leave all of that kind of up and free flowing for now. We're going to pick these off of the side and I'm going to flip them down. Note, when you flip these down, that now the gray is on the same side, or should be on the same side, as these pieces. If they're not, then we've done something wrong. But we'll get to it. These are going to go to the back. And I'm actually going to turn this around. All right, let's make sure of how we got everything oriented here. Let's close in a hip and close in a hip. Great. Since we're here, let's open out. Sorry, actually, let's open this out and turn the head the right way. And now let's do this. Open out a cockpit, open out a nose cone, and then these two pieces, now that we had folded straight to go in through the chest cavity, and that we opened out when we went to tank mode, we now fold them together, and they should become part of like the nose cone section. Right there, like that. The face is now facing down the way it's supposed to face down. As I say that though, with the face, I mean, it's up to you whichever way you want to do it. The head fits there either way. And if I got it backwards, ah well. Then we can deal with this kind of whole backpack piece. Comes down over the face, in over like this, and kind of in over the whole thing. These will end up coming down underneath. Eventually, right? But right now, that's kind of how all of this is. All fit in thusly, like that. Then, with these down here underneath, we should be able to rotate this around and bring it back up. Like so. And hopefully I've got this lined up. Let me show you what I'm trying to do. When you collapse this, there's a little rectangular tab that should go up into a slot here. There we go, like that. And then it should go back on the arm thusly, I guess. Now, it's worth noting that there's a little tab here. We're going to use that little tab later. Gosh, where do I want to kind of go next? Because we're sort of leaving all of that there. We got to do these legs next. And they're not the most fun to do. Let's begin by untabbing and untabbing. And lift this all the way off and fold out this. Now the instructions tell you to tab the foot into here now. I don't find that's a good idea because I find I need to tab the foot into the leg first before I can tab this on. So we're not quite there yet. I'm going to open this up and fold out a tread, and same thing, I'm going to leave those down for now. Now, make sure I'm doing this right. Should be like this. So you'll notice the gray here. This is where the trick comes. That gray should be facing down toward the arms. So it should come around like this. And then the legs are kind of out to the side, thusly. What you're going to do now is this peg here should come down and go into this notch here. I do find that if I got the foot already pegged in up here, this won't peg, at least on the KO. So we done that, and we pick out a knee here. Cool. Now we should be able to bring the foot down, and that goes into the tippy toe up here. And we straighten out a wing. It's a lot of moving parts for that I'm not a huge fan of personally. These over to the back. Same thing, get that nose piece out. Pardon me, but the video cut off and I didn't realize it. So you have to, I'm going to take this leg back down and show it. After you extend the leg, you need to fold it up so that this gray is down toward the arms. We open out the part that was up over the thigh, and now we should be able to bring this little tab back into the leg. It's a pain to do, I gotta say. I don't find this part of the transformation very much fun. And then we bring the foot down over and collapse it on. And straighten out a wing. None of this is together yet, but I'm going to put the plane parts together because we got to deal with the arms next. I will note though that there's a little rectangular tab here that's meant to go down to a little slot back right here, and that's supposed to hold this in place. So I'm going to solidify a few things and then we'll kind of finish this off. I do find going to this mode rough, and I do find the plane is the most compromised of all three modes. Okay, so what we've done is close up the legs and the feet. Like I said, on the KO, I find putting the foot into the thigh first is the smart move. Then under the foot, there's a rectangular slot out near the toe and one back a little bit further in the foot. The one back a little bit further in the foot is the one you use for plane mode. I do find it a bit of a nuisance to put on over. The reason I have him stood up like this is because we have to do the, I'm going to call it the last part. What we have is an arm, and we have a tab up on the leg here somewhere. It's so hard to see. By the way, just to show it, this is the little tab hole, and this is the tab that goes in it, so that it should slot in fairly tight like that. And in the end, this is basically the plane mode. I'm showing it like this so you can see how compromised it really looks with the little wings and all the hodgepodge body. For the record, I do have this off of the little knob on the bottom that's supposed to be on. I don't find the transformation going to plane at all fun. I find it very cumbersome, and I still don't think it's all fit together. I like it going from robot to tank. I think that's elegant. I'm going to give that a 10. I think going from, say, tank or robot to plane is anything but elegant. I'm going to give it a 6. I don't think it's good at all. Which means for the transformation, I'm going to even it out at about an 8. But he was getting a 10 and a 10. Even with an 8, this guy's still like a 9+. It is absolutely worth all of the hype. He is fantastic. Overall score, I'm going to give him a 9.25, even if the plane is somewhat compromised. And here we are once again, and here he is. So the chest is die-cast for sure. I feel like there might be some die-cast in the legs somewhere too, but I can't swear to it. This is very much to me an homage to this. It is, I see the silhouette, the shape of the shoulders, the proportion of the shoulder and bicep compared to the slender nature of the forearm, the oversized huge fusion cannon, and I feel like this isn't just a Megatron, it's an homage to Super Megatron. In fact, having both a tank alt mode and a plane alt mode would also harken to Super Megatron, and I think that if you don't have the select Super Megatron, this works tremendously well for that character. If you just want it as a Megatron, as your Megatron, I get that too. I think if you're going for a live action Megatron, like this is the way to go. The robot is stupendous. It's amazing. The range of motion, the look, the detailing, it's clean, there's no hollowness, it's fantastic. The plane mode, obviously very Cybertronian. It is definitely the weakest of the three modes, no doubt about it. But it still holds together well and it still functions really cool. And with all of the silver sleekness and paint on this guy, I gotta believe that from pretty much any angle, as weird as that plane looks, it's functional. The tank, pretty darn successful for a Cybertronian tank. As much, if not more successful than his tank version. I like this. I think it's an excellent KO. I'm sure the official is excellent as well. I never looked at it, but I completely understand the hype, and the hype is real. This guy, absolutely worth the get. Whether you have the official or the KO, or for some reason, both. Yeah, really good. Let me know what you think about Concept Art Megatron or the KO of Concept Art Megatron. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel, why not? And Don't forget, not for a moment, man, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here, inside the videos.